What's going on, guys? Colby's Tech Reviews here. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but today I am back. I was gone doing a little bit of personal stuff. I had a computer crash a while back, so it was actually right after the Amazon tablet unboxing video. But I am back, and today I'm here to talk to you about why I switched from Android back to an iPhone. So recently, the plan that I'm on includes my mother as well, and being the primary account holder, I decided to do a little bit of research and see what other plans were available. So going about that in a way that wasn't like obvious to who I was online chatting with was interesting. But needless to say, it was cheaper, a decent amount per month to switch to Verizon from AT&T. Won't get into the details there, but that's why I switched. So with switching, obviously we were getting new phones, and thus sparking my interest in an iPhone. So number 5 on my list is the 3D touch feature. So for me, it's been a really big draw since this phone's release back in September 2015. The interest began really with the Force Touch on the Mac, the new iteration of the MacBooks, and I just think it's a really cool feature. And essentially it's the same thing, except for it has a lot more features on the iPhone, obviously, as to be expected. I also like the fact that there will be increasing functionality with 3D Touch as time goes on. Obviously, as when it was first released, it has come a long way since then, and it's even going to go farther in the future. And yes, before anybody shuts me down, I do know that they're going to implement this probably within Android, within the next couple phones, within the next couple months actually. But the way that Apple does things, they iterate things and features in their phones so well with their operating system that it just flows a lot better, and for me that's important. So moving down to number 4, the next reason would be design. For me, my technology has to be designed incredibly well. I'm a digital media arts student, as I've said in a ton of other my videos, but this is something that I can't give up. Like, I love the way a phone, tablet, computer feels in the hand. I love the way that I would use it, and this is something that's really important to me. Maybe not everybody else, but for me it's definitely a priority on my list. There's also a large array of skins and cases for the iPhone. I just purchased one. I don't have the iPhone yet. I'm actually getting it later today, picking it up from the Verizon store. There's a huge amount of cases you can get. I ordered one on Amazon that's like a slim fit case, and skins from D brand, Slick Wraps, Decal Girl. So you really can't go wrong with going with an iPhone because so many people make accessories for it. Third on my countdown would be security. So coming from the Galaxy Note 4, which was my first phone that actually had a fingerprint scanner, it didn't work very well. And not to say it doesn't work well, but the fingerprint scanner on the Galaxy Note 4 makes you slide over the button from top to bottom rather than just putting your finger on it. And for me, that was just annoying, so I never actually used it. So I'm actually excited to use it within iOS platform and on the iPhone. And then kind of a side note here, speaking of security and Apple Pay, actually you can use the fingerprint scanner for. I really enjoy the way that Apple Pay works, and Android Pay I actually did use on my phone. But I like the way Apple Pay, that whole system works with both, and the security you can use to get in. But I also like the Apple's Wallet app that you can use. So I have a lot of rewards program cards and everything like that, and a lot of gift cards that I get for holidays or even just for myself. And I'm really looking forward to using that functionality more because Apple Pay is implemented in more places as of now, and I'm really excited to see where that can take me. So next up on my list is the camera. Now, I have to do a little bit of a side note here. The camera is not something that I would go for the iPhone for by itself. The iPhone camera on the 6S has improved, and the 6 even has improved so much from previous iterations, from 8 megapixels to 12 megapixels, 4K recording. And again, this has been something that's been with Android phones for quite a long time, and again on my Note 4, same type of thing. But the way that the iPhone camera is a good enough camera for me for social media, recording videos of my cousins, my little cousins at 3 years old, and a 1-year-old, and just basic stuff like that, because of the fact that I have a DSLR now to film these videos. Previously I was using my Note 4 to film these videos, but then I got a little bit more serious and I got, I have the money for a DSLR, so I went ahead and bought one. And I don't really need the camera functionalities on my phone more than any casual person just taking a couple Snapchats, Instagram pictures, Facebook, and stuff like that. The number one reason on my list, finally, is compatibility. So I'm going to try to keep this short, but I own a MacBook, I own an iPad, and recently, I used to be super into my personal phone, but recently that's not exactly the case anymore. I'm advancing in school, and my jobs and internships that I have and stuff. So that more is the focus for me in my personal life. Not to say that I don't read tech blogs like it's my job every day while I'm procrastinating, for sure. But for myself, my usage of my phones, it's not as important to have the customization anymore that I used to have with Android. I had 2 Android phones before switching from Apple. I had 2 Android phones, and then I am going back to Apple now. So, but the compatibility issue is something that is important to me at this point, because it's not as important to have the customization options that you get with Android anymore. So I do currently own the Moto 360 that I'm wearing at the moment, and when they announced that the Moto 360 would work on an iPhone and Android Wear now works on iPhones, it kind of like sparked my interest and been like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to get an iPhone because I spent $300 on my watch that I can't use with it. So I still use my watch every day, like a ton. So there's no point in getting a phone. But now that it works with the iPhone, it's a really big draw for me to even motivates me more to be excited for the iPhone. Again, with compatibility would be the messaging. So we all know that Apple messages, turn blue and everything. Androids are green. First of all, my girlfriend has an iPhone, and that's something obviously that is important to me. And most of my family, my mother, my dad and stepmom don't text too much, but I just got them a tablet, so we'll see how that goes in the future. But so most of my family and my friends have iPhones, and it's just easier for me, again, because other features aren't as important that came with Android anymore. Another factor would be the photo and data syncing across my devices. I have found that it's been annoying because I use my iPad Air quite a bit, but it's been annoying having an Android phone because it takes just that much extra effort to get my data and photos from my phone, my Galaxy Note 4, to my iPad or to my computer. So it just kind of is an extra step that I don't really care to bother with anymore. It's not as important to me as I said before. However, with that being said, I do still use Google Drive quite a bit for documents and keeping old stuff. I do have an external hard drive as well, but just for that quick fix of sending documents and sharing things with people, Google Drive is definitely still my go-to service for that. And last, not least, but it's not as important, but I do own an Apple TV, so I've been able to stream from my iPad and my computer, but like it's kind of annoying because like then I'm using my phone, and it's like, oh, this could be so cool, but then I have to go, and this might sound lazy, but like I have to get up, get my computer, get my iPad, but I don't want to do that. There's no point. So again, compatibility was a huge thing, and yes, there are ways to do this with Android phones, but there's just extra steps involved that to me aren't worth it anymore, so I'm just going back to iPhone. Well, I hope you guys don't hate me too much. I've been an Android guy for the past 2 years, 2.5 years now, and I hope you guys don't hate me too much for switching back to iPhone. But it's just, my phone isn't as important to me as some people view Android phones being important to them. Like, customization was a huge thing for me, but it's not quite as much anymore. And I just think that your phone really reflects your personality. So me, I like to have uniform. I like the design of Apple's applications on the App Store. I like the design of the phone itself, which again, like I said, is important to me. So I just think that maybe I'll be back to the Android world, but right now I think an iPhone is the best for me. It's also the less expensive option in terms of my phone bill. But so I think compatibility and compromising on my phone bill and just saving money and being a college student, again, in today's world everything's expensive, so it was just what was important to me. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. These are my reasons why I'm switching to the iPhone from Android. And be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button if you like this video. Check out my other videos on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.